What's up, DD fam? Welcome to the final week 5 regular season
Yes,
of
sir.
season 18. Done deal.
Where the boys become men. It's gonna be a
Yes,
good one,
sir.
brother. It's gonna be a good one. I've been looking over the schedule over and over, and bro, we got some
Yeah.
really good games. I thought the buys were pretty much locked up, but bro, only the Giants are locked at that buy. Everyone else has got to fight it out, bro.
Yep. Before we get into this long episode, because we got a good one for you, shout out to Divine Sports Training.
You play sports? Ever feel something off? Shoulders tight, hips, lower back? Let me help. Through joint mobilization, PNF stretching, and pressure release, we at Divine Sports can help you get back to doing what you love to do. And that's ball out.
Our boy Andy, hit him up to get stretched out before week 5. During week 5, he'll tell you some more on the next video coming up.
And we're back.
All right, for sure. So let's jump into it, man. Stud and dud of the week for week 4. We got Joan with his new team balling out 3-0. Looks great, bro. That Vikings team is.
Listen, before we get into anything, I want to say I'm very grateful for the trade deadline being extended and opened up. I'm not gonna say that, oh, it's a piece of shit because it saved me, so I'm happy. But bro, how does this happen? Like every season, he went from having 4 guys on the field 2 weeks in a row to the guy ended up with fucking pretty much what I think is now the best team and like on paper, and possibly he has the best route to get the bye in that division now because pretty much they all play each other. So
Yep.
He did some MLB slugfest button smashing, and he ended up fucking OP'd out with like 95-mile-an-hour curveballs and the horse that can charge them out and beat your ass, bro. So yeah, it's looking like it's Joan's league to lose again. And I mean, granted, he still needs to put it all together and finish off, which we've seen him not do in the past. I was part of one of the teams that I thought we were gonna win, and then we fucking blew it in the first round. But he's got the pieces right now. I think he'll go far this season.
Yeah, I agree. So and then our boy Freddie B. Has he been the biggest disappointment in DD?
Listen, man, there's nothing that irks me more than seeing guys with cannons underthrow guys. Like,
yeah,
brother, just let it rip, man. Like, I would love to see this guy incomplete 15 passes, but they were all like, fucking, bro, this guy, did you see that throw? Fucking threw the shit out of that ball. It was just an inch out of bounds, a foot out of bounds. The guy dropped it, whatever, bro, but give yourself the chance. Huge disappointment. Freddie has the size, the talent. I mean, maybe not like the savviness that you need from a flag football QB, but that takes time, and he just started playing flag. So, yeah, I would say he's a big disappointment because I think he has all the intangibles and the things that you can't really work on, like size and that arm strength, to be a good quarterback. And he's falling way short of, where I think he should be on the quarterback totem.
Definitely, man. I mean, he was. We date back to the preseason, our show, and I had him as one of the comeback players of the year. He failed me.
Yeah,
he failed me. So, let's get into it, bro. It's a long one. Favorites in the North. I think that's a shit show over there. I mean, obviously we have the Bengals at 10-1-1, who I think obviously for me are the favorites. But I think right behind them you have the Vikings, obviously with the latest trade they made and recency. And then after that, bro, pretty much I have a 3-way tie with the Chiefs, the Cowboys, and the Dolphins. I don't want to write off the Dolphins just yet. I mean, we got to see what's up with Johan's throwing arm. But, bro, they have a tough-ass schedule week 5, man.
That whole top of the division has pretty much, they play all against one another. with the exception of the Cowboys. I think they only play
No,
the Vikings, but everyone
yeah,
else, the Bengals, Dolphins, Vikings, they all play each other. So that's going to be a tough schedule. And then, it's going to be mixed up for sure. Like
yeah,
nobody can go out there and take it lightly with the exception of Chris D and the Giants, and he won't because he wants to lock in the MVP.
correct. I agree. No, yeah, there's a lot to play for, man.
Yeah,
This is actually one of the most exciting week fives in short memory.
definitely.
Obviously, it has to do with the amount of teams and how many can get into the playoffs. But at the end of the day, you look at everybody, and everybody's playing for something. Whether it's a 3 or 4 seed trying to get into the 2 seed, or a 7 or an 8 seed trying to get into the 6 seed, which all are very possible. So that's why I think this season has been the best season so far from the last 4 or 5 seasons that have been in there, and it's just because week 5 is relevant. In the
Yeah,
last 4 or 5 seasons, week 5 hasn't mattered to only probably half the teams because there's
correct.
only two or three trying to play in to get in, and then 2 or 3 trying to play for the bye. Everyone else has been pretty much locked.
Yeah, and not only that, another thing that I think adds to that is like teams that are not going to get the bye for sure, but they're locked in the playoffs and maybe they don't feel comfortable, like teams like Jones who are not going to be the 1 seed, but they may be the 2 seed. Maybe you feel more comfortable playing versus the 1 seed than the 2 seed in the second round. And, teams are going to have to think
Yeah,
about that. Like, damn, do I want to win this one? Do I want to lose it? Because I know I'm locked in playoffs, but do I want to be the 5 seed or the 6 seed? Like, bro, little shit like that is super important this season because of the amount of teams that go in and like the amount of trades that have happened. And like teams like Joan, his team is completely different. So sure, he struggled a few weeks, but
the
if he ends up being the 2 seed, bro, you might want to go see the Bengals before you see the Vikings in the second round. And that's not to knock the Bengals. It's just it's hard to match up against the Vikings with a traditional DD team.
I agree with you, and it's the same thing with the Bucks. That Bucks is a 4 or 5
Same
seed,
example.
but to me, I think that's the second best team in the conference. So speaking of that, I got some odds here on who ends up with the buys. So
Okay.
we're gonna do playoff odds on bye weeks. So I actually think I have the Cowboys as the favorite to get the second bye. I mean, the Bengals, they just got to win one pretty
Yeah.
much. So I kind of locked them in as the 1 seed. But as far as that 2 seed, it's up for grabs. I mean, the Cowboys have a really shit schedule. They only have the Vikings, and then the
Yeah.
rest is like, I think it's the Rams, it's the
Yeah,
the
the
Broncos.
Oilers and the Saints, I think they have the easier of the
No,
schedule of those top
they
teams.
have the Chargers, Saints, and Broncos.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you pretty much think they're gonna go 4-0, 3-1, worst case.
Yes.
Um,
Agreed.
so, and then the Dolphins have a gauntlet of a schedule. They have the Falcons, they have the Bucks, the Vikings, and the Bengals.
Yeah.
So that's rough, man.
And
And Cowboys are only 2 points back, not even a win. So, and then you got the Vikings. The Vikings, bro, they play everybody ahead of them. They got the Giants, they got the Cowboys and the Dolphins. So if they go 4-0, they can get the bye. And then I think we have a very small chance. We got to go 4-0, and everybody's got to go pretty much 2-2 for us to pretty much have a chance. So I have a very long shot. But if I have to guess, I say Cowboys get the 2 seed.
I agree based on their strength of schedule this week. Like I said, all those other teams pretty much play each other. Like some of them have to lose at least 1 or 2 games because, like I said, they play each other. The Vikings play, the Bengals play, the Dolphins play this other team. So they can't, unless they come out with ties, which even then that, doesn't really do much to the
That
standings.
hurts them.
It doesn't put them forward unless, like the teams ahead of them are losing in the other games. But granted, that's going to be, I agree with you. It's going to be a shit show. I think the Cowboys are going to lock it up and the Bengals just have to win a game. And I don't think they're going to go 1-3 regardless. I think at worst they'll go 2-2. And that's if they, don't give a shit. They lock in the 1 seed and then they're like, all right, let's stay healthy. That's the only way I see them going 2-2. But other than that, I agree with you. The Cowboys have the easiest route there. I mean, the hardest week that they had has already passed
Who do you
clearly.
who do you think ends up the 3 seed? The Dolphins, the Vikings, or us?
Bro, honestly, it's hard. Like the thing is that we have it better because we have one tough matchup per, the power rankings, whatever. DD, anything can happen. But realistically, if we go 3-1 or 4-0, like, and the Vikings go 2-2, these guys all go 2-2, we can end up the 3 seed very easily. The Dolphins shot
Yeah,
themselves in the foot with a bad week 4. I mean, Johan got
yeah,
hurt, I know. Kevin wasn't there. A bunch of different shit. The fields were trash. A million things added up. Terrible week. To be honest, it killed Johan's MVP race, um,
I think so
in
too.
my opinion. And yeah, man, they're gonna have to play some 4 hard games, and they're not easy matchups. They have top teams, all of them pretty much. Uh, yeah, I mean it's tough for the Dolphins. They're gonna have a tough mental and physical day, 100%. Like that day is gonna
Yeah,
be like for them. Like they're gonna be thinking about fuck, can we get the bye? Holy fuck, can we keep the 3? Fuck, these guys just went 2-0, they're behind us. Like they're gonna be thinking about a bunch of things. And granted, they have Kevin and Jordan. Johan has a lot of flag experience, so they'll be able to like keep it composed. I'm not saying they're gonna fall apart at all, but they have a lot of things that they have to think about just because they're right in the fucking middle of all of that. They're in between like trying to get the bye, not trying to fall. They're playing hard teams that are trying to do the same thing. So they're in like a tricky situation, and it doesn't change the team
yeah,
that they have put together, but they need to overcome like what I would say is like a mental hurdle and not think about all that other bullshit and just go out and do what they can control and what they've been doing all season. They've obviously been playing fucking great football if they're where they're at, if you remove week 4. But
yeah.
yeah, it just depends on how they come out. If they come out fucking flat, then it might be a rough day for them, in my opinion.
Um, let's stay in the North. That way we could just finish everything on the North. Um, odds to make the 6 seed. So we got the Rams and the Oilers 5 points out of the Chargers. The Chargers are locked in as the 6 with 12 points. Obviously the Chargers are a huge favorite to keep that. I have them at like minus 400.
Yeah,
I don't think the Oilers have a chance. I don't think the Oilers have a chance to catch them. And it's not because the Oilers aren't good. I think the Oilers are good. I just think that their schedule is really hard.
it is.
So they play the Giants, the Seahawks, they play the Rams,
And
and
then
then
they
they play
play
us.
us. Yeah.
Um, which at that 12:30, are we playing for anything? Like, like what's really going on there at 12:30? We don't know. Because if we lose one of those first 2 games, maybe that 12:30 game we're set in stone as the 5 seed.
Yeah.
That Rams game obviously is the biggest game of the night. If they could catch the Seahawks or the Giants and they could win one of those games, then I think they might have a shot. Just because through the grapevine heard that Stritz is out for the Chargers and they don't want to pick anybody up. So I think the Chargers have an easy schedule. Well, they don't. They actually play the Broncos and then they play the Rams. So I think they win that Broncos game and then they go 1-3, which puts them at 15 points, which means the Rams got to go, 2-2. It's going to be rough. I mean, I think the Chargers pretty
It's,
much locked.
in my opinion, the
Yeah,
Chargers have it locked in, barring they go 0-4.
correct. They got to get one. They got
If
to
they
get
get
one.
one, I think it's locked just because the Oilers and the Rams just don't have like, bro, not against them. Like you said, it's not that they're awful. It's just, bro, it's hard to win games when you don't have like the right team assembled. Andy had to kind of like fucking scramble to put together something that he felt, like was a product he wanted to put on the field, for his talents at
Yeah,
quarterback and his abilities. So it's difficult when you're scrambling to put that together because remember, DD, especially the quarterbacks this season, you got to pick what you wanted. You got to go out and say, this
correct.
fits my needs, this doesn't. Maybe he's better than this guy, but I like this guy more for my game. And he didn't have that opportunity. So it's hard. And it's, I don't want to knock him for his, shitty week 4, but it's difficult. And I know this is not like a league of your team, but you technically got to pick it as the quarterback this season. So he's playing a step behind. It's hard to win games like that in this league.
Yeah. So Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think the long shot is the Rams. But they actually got a shot. They got a shot. They control their own destiny. That's for sure. If they go 3-1, 2-2, they get in. That's for sure.
Freddie Bob's
Um,
dropped, right?
no,
No?
not that I know of.
I thought
I
he
don't
was
think so.
dropping.
No. Drew dropped.
Are we sure?
No, I'm not sure.
I'm gonna find
Ooh.
out right now. I don't know why I thought Freddie B dropped, unless I'm
Um,
tripping.
who'd they pick up?
No, that's the thing. No, there's no like tweet or anything. Nah, he didn't drop. I thought he dropped. He was fucking hurt. He kept talking about his his hammy and I don't know what. I mean, bro, maybe I'm tripping. I feel like
Byron
he
just
was
scored.
yes. Yeah. One zip.
Yeah. One zip,
Fire.
10 minutes in. Um, so all right, let's move on to the next conference. We kind of spoke about who the favorites are, spoke
In the
about,
north.
in the north, who's gonna get the bye. Seems like it'll be the Bengals and the Cowboys based on, everything.
Strength of schedule, current record. Yeah, it's looking. That's what's looking like the most likely right now.
Yeah, I'd put my money on that. All right, so let's move on to the South. Who do you have as the favorites in the South?
We played the Giants.
Yeah.
Unfavorable conditions. We should have won the game. We stopped them 2-3 times. Unfortunate safety. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. They beat us. It is what it is. I didn't love what I saw from them. I felt like
Yeah.
they had two weapons. Hit Adrian or hit Jason. As far as like a big game play, like obviously you're gonna eat with Ryan, you're gonna eat with Mali underneath with the tier sixes that he can beat. That's with anything.
Ryan drives them down the field.
Exactly. But I'm not saying that that's your go-to guy. Like in the situation, he's got Jason and Adrian, and Adrian's been playing lights out. I can't even say a fucking thing about that guy. But these guys are not unstoppable. These are not guys that you're like, bro, fuck, dog. Like I'm covering the guy as best as I can, and he's just better than me, bro. He's just stronger. He gets up there. I don't know what to tell you. Like the guy, like a Lulu situation, or like those horses. You're like, bro, I don't know what the fuck you want me to tell you, bro. Like I'm fucking on this guy. I'm on him. He's making the better play.
Yeah.
So like those aren't those guys, and it's not saying that they're not good, bro. Because again, Adrian was my dark horse last week for MVP. It's hard not to give it to someone that's not a quarterback, but the guy's been playing fucking lights out. One of the best performances in DD history on both sides of the ball for sure. I think that they're definitely beatable, but
I don't think that conference is strong, man.
But can the teams that he's going to be put in front of finish it off? To me, his biggest threat is the Lulu Tronki connection.
Of course.
That's it. Because the Seahawks are good, but I think that the Giants match up really well against them. Super well.
Yeah.
Because they got slower, not slower, but technically downgraded from Louis to Lugo with that trade that originally happened. So yeah, they upgraded, but they didn't technically gain that much speed from TP and Gary and all that. So I think that the Giants match up really well against them. I don't know that that'll be the conference championship. I think the Seahawks will probably get kicked out of the bye just because they don't have a favorable schedule this week either. The Falcons have a much more favorable schedule, so I have them to lock that second bye in because obviously the Giants they're in. But yeah, the Seahawks have a tough ass schedule this week, just like the other teams, and I like it like that. I like that they gave the top teams that are playing for something. Those are not gimmies, like you want the fucking bye, okay, go earn it, go beat these teams that also want the bye. So I like it. It's good. I don't know that the Giants can win it all, but I think that they have enough to win this conference.
I agree. I think second I have the Bucks, obviously. And my dark horse, bro, which I think they get the bye, is the Ravens. I think I think that 12:30 game, Ravens versus Falcons, determine who gets the 2 seed. I'm gonna put that right now. I'm gonna put that right
crazy,
now.
but I like it.
Bro, the Ravens play the Jags, the Chargers, and the Rams. Those are their first 3 games. That's easy 3-0. That's very, very, very likely
Damn.
a 3-0. And then they got the Falcons. They got the Falcons at fucking at 12:30.
Last game of the day.
I think that game determines who gets the bye. If the Falcons win, I think they get the bye. If the Ravens win, I think they get the bye. I think the Bucks have a really hard schedule. I mean, I still have them as a favorite to come out of the conference.
Yeah.
I don't have them as a favorite to get the bye just because of their schedule this week. But because they got the Bengals, the Dolphins, the Seahawks, and the Jags.
Brother, yeah. The schedules this week are brutal for everyone. I feel like only besides us and the Cowboys, I feel like we kind of got like, lenient of a schedule. But bro, everybody else's schedules, I'm like, God damn, bro, what a fucking terrible schedule.
Everybody's gonna beat up. Everybody's gonna beat up on everybody. So you gotta assume the Bucks, can go 3-1, 2-2. But since they lost out on points last week, I don't think that's enough to then jump everyone.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys are all Seahawks have 19, Falcons have 18, Ravens have 17, and the Bucks have 16. It's anybody's game.
They're separated by 3 points for like 4 teams.
Correct. Yeah. But I think just by schedule, I think the Ravens have the best shot at it, and I think that game at 12:30 versus the Falcons determines the bye.
Let's see. I hope you're right. That'll be a good one, bro. That'll be a good one. And I think that's a good game matchup wise, like they match up well against one another. Damn. That's a good take. I like that. I'm going to keep that in mind for the week.
All right. And to get in, all right, we're talking about the Jaguars, Broncos, and Saints. Do you like that Josh ad?
Bro, I think if Josh is given guidance and told what to do, the guy's great, bro. He's, got a really strong arm. He's not the best defender, but he's athletic enough to get to where he needs to be. Now, you let Josh make his own decisions, brother, it's not a good time. Granted, I can say maybe I pulled the trigger early last season after week 1 that we went 0-3. But I wasn't willing to take the risk based on what I saw in week 1. Bro, we were in a game that we're down 2-0, and you want to sub yourself out when there's a tier 6 out for the other team. And you're like, no, I got this one out. You're not the captain. You're not anything, bro. You got to just fucking stay in the fucking field when you're told, and you get out when Jaime says to get out. If that's a decision, it's his decision. But he just fucking took it upon himself. You can't let him make his own choices. And I don't think that they have a huge vocal person as far as oh man, they have that guy. But I think Montano will take the reins as quote unquote captain and kind of tell him this is what we're going to do. Now, do they have the plays? I have no fucking idea. I don't know if they got the plays to run. Sometimes Josh goes into the huddle and asks you, yo, what do you want to do? It's like, what do I want to do, brother? What do you want to fucking do? You're supposed to tell me that.
I mean, if you look at player for player, they got a good squad, man. They got Josh, they have Montano, they have Marley, they have Vic, and Nunez and Javi. That's a great squad, man. I mean, that's a team that can compete.
And who's gonna lead on D?
It's got to be Marley.
He's a safety, so Grant, I think they get in because the teams below them
a
debacle.
Yeah.
A debacle. Every week it's something different with the Broncos, a different team, a new team. Somebody's hurt, somebody's missing, somebody dropped, somebody replaced. I don't think the Broncos have had a same team any week in a row. Every week it's something different with those guys.
I think they go 2-2, which gives them 14. They play the Chargers, which without Stritz, that means that they could go their best 5 as well. And then they also play the Saints, which, obviously they don't have a quarterback. Jaime's playing quarterback. He actually did really well.
Dude, he did great. He did great for what I saw,
correct.
Bro.
But at the end of the day, we refed one of their games, and it's a certain play to call at a certain time in the game, clock management. It's a lot to throw out there on a quarterback for the first time. But he made plays, man. I saw him making plays. He made Ernie look like he's never rushed before.
Bro, he was making every rusher look like they've never rushed before. I was like, damn, Hyman is like fucking mobile quarterback. Just give this guy a handoff, let him run.
I wish that they would have had like a couple more points. But they have a really hard schedule, man. The Saints play the Cowboys, they play us, they play the Falcons, and then they play the Broncos, which I could see them getting that dub against the Broncos. But you know, you have 3 really hard games. I don't know if they get dubs there. I think they're just too far back.
No, I agree with you. They have a big hole to dig out of right now.
I think Jaguars get it done.
I agree with you. And just because of the hole that the other teams are in, not because the Jaguars are going to be that much better.
But fuck, they play the Vikings, the Bucks.
They all play hard teams, but so do the who's in last place.
I'm gonna.
They all play hard teams, bro. I'm telling you, everyone plays a hard team, has a hard schedule. I feel like except us and the Cowboys.
I'm gonna say Saints get the 6th seed, bro.
Wow, bold. Is it because I fucking said Saints on fucking all the smoke, 1%? You're fucking rubbing it back in.
I literally had a picture of the shirt, man.
I know, but now that's how you know I wasn't cheating, dog. Because I wasn't looking over at you, G. Look, I'm even wearing black and gold right now. Fuck, that shit keeps haunting me. All right, let's
what's it called?
Let's jump into the upset of the week.
All right, the show. Who do you got?
I got Falcons over Dolphins. So
I like that.
I think Raymond plays good when he's got a lot of fire under his tail. He was very not in the mood to play week 4. He was like, bro, his whole team had taken off their cleats after we were like, you know, an hour into it, and we were just sitting around, and he's like, bro, fuck this, it's canceled. I'm going home. And I was like, bro, it's not canceled. Like, don't leave. Like, there's fucking people running on the field right now. I know we were eating shit for a while, but I'm telling you, we're playing right now. And he just wasn't in it mentally. And he knows that even with an 0-3 week 4, he's still in a position where he controls his own destiny and can get a bye. Correct. So I think that's going to fuel him. He's going to jump into week 5 and say, boys, let's fucking go. We got to fucking roll. We got to play hard. We got to fucking win these 4 games, and let's go get a bye and shut everybody the fuck up who talk shit about the Falcons all season. We haven't been mentioned on the shows. Nobody gives a fuck about us. It's been the Bucks, the Giants, the this, the that, the Seahawks, the Dolphins. You know what? It's Falcon time. So I think he's gonna go in there and give a fucking Jim Lombardi speech, and you know, I think they're gonna pull it off. And he has a lot to play for. Integrity, like his internal integrity won't let him fold over and die, and he's in the position to actually have a buy and say like, yo, fuck you motherfuckers who've been talking shit about me for all the seasons I've been in DD. I'm not folding this time. So I got Raymond and the Falcons over the Dolphins.
All right, and I actually have the same team, just the other way around. I got the Ravens to upset the Falcons and get that 2 seed at 12:30. Last game of the day. I think the Falcons have a great day. I think they go 3-0, and I just think that the Ravens have an easier schedule. They go 3-0 as well, and I think that they'll clash at 12:30, and the winner takes home the bye. And I'm going to take the Ravens on that.
I like that.
So it's going to be good, man. It's going to be good. But yeah, it should be a fun week 5.
I can't wait.
MVP rankings. I think it's a 2-horse race. I obviously I had Johan as my favorite.
Me too.
Going into week 4. Obviously he got injured, had a rough go. And I think that kind of pushed him out. I think Chris D and Fredo, obviously. Yeah. If you look at numbers, like Fredo's quarterback numbers are just stupid, bro. They look like fucking it's Madden numbers, bro.
He had a 5-for-5 game with 3 touchdowns, I think, last week.
It's Madden. It's literally 113 for 137, 39 touchdowns and 3 picks. Like,
you know what I call that?
Jesus.
That's pussy ball. That's pussy ball, baby.
Yeah, okay.
No, I
pussy
mean it
ball,
like
whatever you want to call it.
no, I'm not. I don't mean it like in a
I wish
disrespectful way.
I
I mean it as in like that's what pussy ball gets you. Like
no,
113
I
for
get it,
137,
but
85% completion, and 39 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. That's where pussy ball gets you. Like efficientness.
it's fucking amazing.
It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Now he doesn't have the defensive stats,
Right.
so it's what's you know D's hurt. So can Chris D muster up a pick here or there
Yeah.
or something that can get him the MVP? Gun to my head, I think I take Fredo.
Gun to my head, I think I take Pareto as well, just because of the 2 tier 6 situation, sort of say. And not only that, it's hard. They're both gonna lock in the bye more than likely. If the Bengals just win a game, they both are gonna win their conference for the most part. Like bro, it's hard. They both played quarterback. Granted, Fredo's quarterback numbers are fucking exponentially higher than Chris D's, but like you mentioned, he doesn't have those stats on the defensive side of the ball. I think it's all gonna come down. If one of them goes 4-0, they sealed it. Doesn't matter about the numbers. I think it just goes out to if one of them goes out 4-0 and
who has the
they're
best
like,
record?
bro, yeah, man,
Yeah,
it's hard.
Fredo has offensive. Fredo has offensive stats. Chris D has the defensive stats.
Yeah.
I'm a quarterback, so I'm always gonna pull for offensive stats. So that's why I would choose Fredo, but it's fucking tight. Like it's tight, and I think you're right. I think whoever has the better week 5 takes it. Long story short.
Yeah. It's what
that.
you most remember. It's like in a UFC fight, a boxing match, they tell you like, yo, you gotta fucking start swinging in this last round. That's what the fucking refs last remember. Like they remember the last few punches, like, oh shit, that guy rocked him. Meanwhile, he was getting his ass whooped 3 minutes ago, but you just forgot about it because he punched him really hard in the face towards the end of the fight when you have to write your little number down. So, bro, recency bias is big, and especially in sports. So we'll see who has the bigger week 5. Right now, I got Fredo.
All right. What's up with our Dundua lineups?
Let's jump into that bad
boy. I think you gotta go Tronky and Lulu.
Oh wait, but pause.
Lulu.
Hold on. We're just gonna bypass how we won last week.
Oh, of course we won last week, bro.
We gotta clap it up for ourselves. That's it. All right, now we could jump into this week's lineup.
What's it called? All right, so I gotta go with Tronky and Lulu as my QB and my tier 1, which I'm sure 90% of the brackets are gonna be on that as well. But Lulu at $12 is a gift. You have to take that. I think my tier 2, I'm all in on the Ravens, so I took Peanut. My tier 3, Swazzle, I'm force feeding into him. Andres is our tier 4, and then our tier 5 is Laz. I think Chink is gonna have to use Laz to dump it down the field and get moving if they want to score. Chink is not a deep ball guy, so he's going to use Laz. I think we have to go with Laz.
Love it.
And now to our favorite, I can't even think right now. Our favorite time of the show, whatever.
Favorite segment in the show.
Segments. There we go.
Yes, sir.
I'm 7-5 on the year. Never picking a fucking soccer game again. Fucking, that was my only loss last week.
Yeah.
Taking Oklahoma minus the 10 against Kansas. Taking BYU plus 17.5 against Texas. I got Vikings money line against Green Bay. I'm also taking the Seahawks minus 3 at home against the Browns. And then I got a little teaser for y'all. Chargers minus 2. Lions minus 2.
All right, I like that. So I got 2 last week, a push and a loss. So on the season, I'm 10-4 and 1 push. 10-4 and 1 push. $100 better would be up $560. Talk to me nice. Hey, listen, no other show would have made you $560. Our production value is shit, but our ROI huge. 40 minutes for $560. Fuck out of here. This week, I got Arizona State +5 versus Oregon State. They're one of the best teams against the spread this year. So I'm gonna fly with them. And then I have a little bit of a personal vendetta, so I can't fade this team. I'm going Jayville State -8 versus FIU. So, like, you don't want to know about the story with this team this season. It's been very rough. But they're gonna pull through for me one time, I think, because I faded them fucking 4 weeks in a row and they fucked me right in the ass. And we're going with Newcastle money line Champions League. Lock it in. If you're watching this tomorrow morning, today morning, which is Wednesday, lock it in. Game starts at 3 o'clock. You got to get that one in before 3 o'clock. And then I got Rams versus Cowboys under 45.5. By the fucking point. Always by the point, boys. I don't have to tell you, but I'll tell you because there's a lot of retards out there. By the point.
All right. For sure. Next time we'll see you, we'll be locked in, ready for playoffs.
Playoff edition coming soon, boys. Ice up. Get ready. Week 5. Peace.
I'm rich, baby.